gonna watch this in slow-mo. Watch the damage on this. Watch the damage on it. That's quite a bit of damage. And then, of course, I should have focused on the other tower, but Demolish will hit off on this one, I believe. Oh, look at that. Wham, that's a lot of damage in one big punch. Welcome back to another Shrine Breaker video. We're doing another VOD review here, but this is mostly to explain the difference between my Shrine Breaker playstyles. And the one you commonly see with me run is Nimbus Cloak, right? But this time, we're going to be running Absolute Focus. And this is going to demonstrate the full power of the Volibear, the Shrine Breaker playstyle. This is the strongest by far. So basically what we're doing is max health, max AD. So our build is going to be Frostfire, Hullbreaker, Titanic, the classic core, and then Steer Axe, and then Warmoth. Now the order doesn't really necessarily matter of how you want to build it, because you could go Frostfire, Warmoth and get the regeneration, which would be great against this type champion that you're facing in the top lane here. He's just spamming that mastery over and over and over. Look like Ezreal's teleporting to the bot lane there. Alright, so this gives me the opportunity to keep pushing here and get a plate. Look like they're going to get the dragon. So I'm just going to proxy behind the tower. It's going to allow me to get ahead in CS. There's a little bug there. It wasn't showing the CS or the items, and I don't know why. It's fixed now. So you can see here I started with cloth armor because I'm looking to get the boost right away. Steel cap is going to help a lot, and then I'm just going to build it into Frostfire. Keep Ezreal from kiting me. Now you could max Q if you wanted to, but I always max W and then Q. For me, I personally think W is better because the worst thing that you can do is have a weak W. Especially a level 1 W is not good. And often, where you think you're going to execute the target, even on minions, it doesn't. You need at least 2 or 3 points in it, and then you can, you know, for like jungle, max Q, chem tank, all that, you know, makes sense. But I always max W no matter what, and then max Q. Because we're going AD this build. Spamming that mastery again. I can't wait to get a hold of him. There's the ignite. I'm all in here. He's level 5, there's no way he wins. Now I get to spam my mastery. So as we get stronger and stronger, Ghost is going to be a lot more viable to chase him down. So after he blinks and then flashes, we're still going to catch him with Ghost. And we got a Q and E to catch him, ult. So early on, it's hard because he does so much damage right now. And then as we scale, it's going to be a lot easier. With that much health and damage items, But I don't expect everyone to be able to 4-man, 5-man me because I got Ghost and I'm pretty smart at knowing when they're going to rotate to my lane. So I'm just going to play off that. I'm just going to split push top and bottom and try to destroy as many towers as I can. And that's going to create pressure over time. And that's going to open up the doors for us to get the objective. So whether we are struggling early on, we're going to eventually be able to get the Baron later on. So let's say the enemy team has all 5 dragons, okay? Or 4 dragons, whatever it is. We're still going to be fine because the pressure that you put on the map is going to make a difference in the end, even though they have all the dragons. The bigger you are, the more damage you're going to deal to the towers, and it's going to be difficult to stop. That's pretty much how you want to play it. I'm just going to get out of here. I might have to ult this one. Yeah. Consume you. So this is the second dragon that we're going to lose. So my team is not looking good. So this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, is what you can do to try to win the game when your team is doing bad. That's fine. Looks like he's got him. Close call there, though. So I'm looking to make a play here. But he's doing the bomb. He's gonna walk into a trap here. And I'll be able to use my ult. I got Frostfire. Knight goes. Easy money. Right. This is where I tried to kill him. But you can see Brand coming up on, I almost got him. I should have just walked away at this point here. Yeah, I didn't see him. Unlucky. But he did flash. So now we have the hull breaker. So at this point, we're going to look to pressure the towers more, that we have the damage and the regen sustain. So we got a lot of sustain between the potion and the regeneration from the hull breakers. So that's the whole point, is we're going to keep the pressure. Caitlyn's still trying to protect this lane. He's got Gangplank and bot lane scaling, so that's good. You can see he almost has 200 CS. So I expect him to be very strong. And right now I'm scaling 12 damage there, 14 there. So that's quite a bit, and that's going to grow. So the later the game gets, the more AD I get, which is really good for his ult, his W, his Q. See Caitlyn still hanging out here. And I'm just waiting for the dragon to make a play. Yeah, I don't care about this fight. So even if they lose or win or whatever, it doesn't matter. What matters is the dragon. So you know that it's about to spawn. And I want to keep this pressure, because this is going to force one or two to stay back here. You can give my team a chance to win. And even if they don't, they still have to worry about me pushing in. So that's going to force them to come here, and that's going to buy my team time. So if they're dead, 20, 30 seconds, whatever, all this time here, 20, 30 seconds could be wasted here. And it's just going to allow the game to stall. So they're here, they're probably going to take this, and Diana's way up here, unlucky. But we got Brand here, I don't know if he's going to, look like it's going to be a full team. Well, technically Brand's not there. Nobody's really there yet, and we're just looking to keep scaling. That's 4 dragons right there. Should I be there? Yeah, but I don't think it's going to make a difference in this situation. If I'm there and Diana's way over here, I'm just going to end up dying for nothing. So I would rather just keep the pressure and scale. And you're going to see why in the end. So my focus is actually getting the Baron. Because when I'm pushing like this in the side lane with Baron buff, it's going to be huge. Because if I'm down here and you got one here and then my team's grouped, and they're struggling to defend or decide to go get the Baron, once I receive that buff, the person that's defending is going to get dived on. So I made this decision to go bot. Why did I do that? Because Dragon's down and Baron's, it's time for Baron. It's been past 20 minutes now. And I really want them to, fight for the Baron, make some plays happen. And here's Caitlyn. She's here defending this tower. So once again, it's a fair fight. 4 versus 4. My team is scaling. Hopefully we got the damage to pull it off. So I don't care about diving right now. Let's see what I got. I got everything. I could dive this Kate if I wanted to, but there's no point. I'm just going to keep her here. That's what matters. And I'm just farming. I'm scaling. That's all I'm doing. Because I don't have vision. I don't know what's going on exactly, because nothing is going on right now. That's what you got to be mindful of. If they're not fighting or doing anything, you don't want to do anything. Gangplank is top. He's still scaling. You can see he's well over 200 CS. I have 200 now. If you look at overgrowth, I have 207. So if you look at my rune stats, I have 111 health here. So I have quite a bit of health stacked on. So with Demolish, I'm going to deal quite a bit of damage. 35% of your max health. It looks like Diana's probably going to die here, which is bad because that means free Baron. But Caitlyn's going to be forced to defend. We'll see what happens. And I'll be able to take this tower. I just back off. Got quite a bit of gold for that. But I'm actually going to stay. I'm going to stick around. I'm fairly healthy. I have 2 pots here, and I got regeneration from the Hull Breaker. And I just need 2,100 gold for Titanic. So I'm just going to take advantage of this because Baron's still up. So they're going to all be here. And this is going to allow me to scale and get my item to be more powerful to destroy everything. So I'm just going to chill here and keep them here. Here's Brian, here's Kate, hanging around. So they could start to work on this. All they have to do is clear vision and whatever. So like if I was dominating and I was ahead and my team was doing somewhat good, I would be more aggressive in diving. I would. But in this particular situation, you can't afford to throw. Because the moment my team dies, they can end the game. They can push all this and end the game if they wanted to. I'm trying to stall. I'm trying to keep the game alive at this point. So this is going to allow them to come try to defend, because I can easily just take this whole thing if they don't. And once I get Titanic, my clear power against the minions is incredibly strong. I'm just gonna all in on this guy. Got ghost, even though he flashed. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. You can see how much power I have there. With all this damage. And like I said, W and E is much stronger the more health you have. So overgrowth is making you incredibly strong. Alright, should be able to fight her. I got Hullbreaker. And you can see I'm winning this fight, even though she's got Demonic and Sorcery boost. She's forced to flash out of here, and that's fine, and I just get away. No point in chasing. My team got Baron because Jungler just wasted her time in the bottom lane. This is exactly what I'm talking about, is you're doing your team a great favor that way. Now, if Shyvana, instead of wasting her time in the bot lane, was here, it would be questionable. The enemy team probably would have gotten the Baron, right? So I'm very happy for this mistake that she made. So this gives me the upper hand to put more pressure on the map. So instead of going to the dragon, I'm actually going to go top. So, you know, we're probably going to lose this or whatever. But I'm just going to go back and keep the pressure. And we're probably going to have to wait for the next Baron. The Diana is dead, so there's really no point in me being here. If I'm here, I'm just going to die for nothing. You know? So now we got the Titanic, we got our core Shrinebreaker items, and we're looking to build the Styrax. So Styrax is going to be incredibly strong at this point with all the HP, so you're going to get a massive health shield. So another thing to talk about is when you do physical damage to your champion, you restore health. So in combination with regen, you got 3 pots here. Second wind, you're incredibly stacked with sustain, so there's no reason for us to go back at all. And our last item is going to be Warlock. So if we do get poked down quite a bit, and we manage to get away with our ult, ghost, and whatnot, Warmog's going to regenerate us to full so we don't have to go back. And we can just stay. Constantly apply that pressure. And all that max health is going to be really good with Demolish. And then your ult with the Titanic. And we're going to look to get Auxiliary of Iron. The more health you have, the more power you have on Titanic. It's just going to smash those towers down quickly. In just one big hit. You don't need a whole lot of attack speed to do that. So your Q is also powerful too. So Q, one big auto, and one big demolish is really all you need. And with the super minion charging at one tower, that's a lot of damage because of the hull breaker and Baron buff. So you can focus on one tower, delete that with demolish while the minions focus on that. So you can see they're all trying to get some work done mid here. We got Ezreal still here. I'm going to dive this guy. And actually I make the decision to ult this tower, just take the tower and get the heck out. Because that's really all I need is more pressure. So there's really no point in trying to kill this guy at this point because they backed off mid. And I really don't want to get caught. And because I have the Baron buff, I'm able to recall fast before they even get here to do anything about it. So now I have the Steerax. And that's one thing to point out. Every time you take a single tower, the more gold you wake up to get your items. So instead of farming champions, you're pretty much, well, you farm champions by diving single targets like this, but you're farming towers at this point. That's pretty much what you're doing. Volibear is just Shinebreaker. He's just devouring everything in his path. All this rubble, you know, and there's nothing they can do about it. So they're still mid, and somebody's forced to protect. So this allows a fair fight in my team. And at this point, Gangplank is incredibly strong. Look, he's got a lot of crit. So I expect him to win this. So we're going to watch this fight here go down. Oh yeah, exactly what I wanted. This is good. We won this fight, and now I can keep pressuring. He's not going to do a damn thing to me because I have Hullbreaker, Steerax. So what is this guy going to do? Absolutely nothing. So I'm just going to take this, and that's all I need. I can try to get this guy. Boom. Okay, he ulted. I got him. Good. I'm going to back off. Ezreal TP, that's fine. I'm just gonna reset. And then we got all this pressure here. So now that we got all this side lane pressure, this is gonna make it easier for us to get the dragon, even though we lost all of them. But also Baron as well. So that's the goal. And then my next goal is to try to work on the mid lane in this tower. I'm still gonna work on the side lane towers. So once I get that, we'll be able to work on this. So whether I get this or my team, either way, you can see the pressure difference. I still got my tower, this tower, this tower, this tower, and this tower, and this tower. So we have more of the advantage at this point, even though they have all dragons. Unfortunately, not every game is like this, but if you can do this for your team and allow them to scale, you can definitely turn the tables. You can see I'm working on the Warmog, and the reason why I didn't buy the Giant's Belt or the Kindle, I just bought this because the more regen I have, the better. Because that's all I want, is to sustain, regenerate, and go back. I already have a shit ton of health, so I'm just going to sit here and farm and collect the amount for Warmog when I need to, and look at my team working on the Baron because everybody's here wasting their life and he's over here trying to protect this. And since I got the Baron, I'm gonna get this tower because I know they're gonna come back, and they're right here looking to get the dragon, so they're probably over here. So I got the Baron buff. I can recall instantly before they even try, and here she was wasting her time trying to stop me. And here I am here. I decided to go mid at this point because we already have every single tower and then in the side lanes, and all we need to do is get this. So I'm just gonna run down here and do that now that I have the Baron, Hullbreaker, Titanic. I have all the power I need. I don't need to be here fighting for another ridiculous dragon, right? My team's already scaling. Here's Bran. He's gonna run for his life. He flashes because he knows if he dies, he's fucked, right? So, you know, if he dies, I take everything here. So I'm just looking to take this tower. We got Caitlyn coming in. We gotta watch out because she's got Lord Dom, and that's the only thing that can pretty much stop me. I gotta get out of here, unfortunately. Got the Steel Axe shield. Look at that massive shield. Got a meta shield from an E. And I just get the F out of there. My team still doesn't get a dragon. But who cares? We got the Baron and we're incredibly strong. So they put the pressure on the mid. We finally get that inhibitor down.
Blue team's inhibitor has been
I
destroyed.
push this. We call because I have Warmogs now. So we're at max health. Max items. We got all the damage in the world to ult the Nexus towers here. And probably going to do it with my team. So I'm just going to go bot. And the reason why is because I can just work on taking this while my team just pushes. Ideally, you would want to be in a lane with the super minions. But mid lanes is where everybody ends up anyway. So the whole breaker... I won't get the stats on this if I'm grouped, so I just rather go in the side lane. I just pick this up. It doesn't matter anyway, game's over. So all we have to do is just push this up and then you're going to see the bear special. Look how big we are. And I picked up Auxiliary of Iron, by the way. So massive. Increased size. Now, Auxiliary of Sorcery is also a good option. I find it better with the AP build. So if you're building like Nashers or Demonic or something like that, it's really good. It does 2 damage to your tower, so extra damage. But in this case, it's like max health. We're gonna watch this in slow-mo.
Red team double kill. Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Right. Watch the damage on this.
Red team triple kill.
Watch the damage on this. Oh. Boom! That's quite a bit of damage. And then, of course, I should have focused on the other tower, but Demolish will hit off on this one, I believe. Oh, look at that. Wham! That's a lot of damage in one big punch. Yeah, so that's that, guys. This is the most powerful Shrine Breaker build that I have. Just max health, max AD, and your runes as well, and you're unstoppable. Nobody's gonna stop you from taking every single tower in the game, unless they group as 5 and take you down. But like I said, if you're mindful of how and when they're roaming on the map, and in the state of the game, if your teammates, you're gonna have to allow them to scale. It's gonna be boring sometimes. You're gonna have to sit and just farm, play it safe, play it smart, and everything will work out in the end. So you can see here, like, I don't have the most damage, and that's because I'm not actively in team fights, but you are incredibly strong. So if anybody faces you with a Steel Axe, Hullbreaker, Titanic, as you can see, Shyvana couldn't even 1v1 me at all. So you're incredibly strong. You can take 2 or 3 champions if you wanted to. Like I said, if they did stop me, if they came to 3-man me and caught me, I would be able to take 1 or 2 down with me, possibly more. And that opens the door for your team to get the objectives, like Baron, for example. Like Shyvana wasted her time, right? She came and she almost lost that fight, and she had to flash away while my team was doing Baron. That's the perfect example right there. So yeah, and then we're going to take a look at the graphs here, and this is what I'm talking about. This total damage to champions, everyone, is kind of confused about this. Look at Ezreal, for example. Why is his damage? Well, obviously he's a broken champion, right? He does so much damage, but he's in team fights the entire game, right? There was a little bit where he was in the side lanes trying to stop it, but Kate was actually doing most of it. So their bot lane, that was the one that was the carry in the beginning of the game, was actually wasting so much time in the side lanes trying to protect the tower. So there's a lack of damage output here. Even Bran was in the side lane. So this is kind of unusual for Bran not to have more damage. Usually Bran has more damage than anybody. See what I mean? And you see Gangplank here, he finally scaled up, so that helped a lot. So this part doesn't really matter as much as people think. What really matters, well, this actually matters more in AD carries or mages or whatever. But as a top laner, the biggest thing is tower damage, pressure on the map. Look how big that is. So, it's huge. Look at it, Diana, nothing. So I mean, no objectives until later. So if we compare the objectives, like obviously Shyvana got all the dragons, but eventually we were able to get the objectives here. Gangplank was definitely the carry for my team, and that was my goal. That's what I wanted. So let's take a look. Look how much damage I took there. Even though my team was in team fights, I still was able to absorb quite a bit of damage in the side lane. So yeah, so that's how you play it. That's how you play the Shinebreaker playstyle. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to show you more of an aggressive play with this because this is extremely powerful when you're aggressive. But in this situation, you kind of have to play around, your team and the objectives. And unfortunately, we were down bad. So yeah, so you get quite a bit of AD off of these runes here. Absolute Focus, Gathering Storm, a lot of health off Overgrowth and Graps. This could actually be a lot more, but due to the fact that we didn't really have to fight as much or dive as much, we had to play it a bit more safe. You're still getting quite a bit of HP off this. Skills with Frostfire, Titanic, Styrax, and just in general, all the HP that you have is just really good for Titanic. Titanic is the main source of damage to towers and to targets. And then we all in with Ignite. Ignite gives you that Grievous Wounds because we don't have Thornmail in here. And then Ghost, it just makes it easier to all in and get out if you need to. So this is the most powerful Shinebreaker build that you can build.